Oh, hello. Welcome to another Whiskey the Pooh's Bourbon Reviews. I'm Whiskey the Pooh, your humble host. Tonight I have for you something that's regularly available at any liquor cave, but until recently I'd never thought to pick it up. Quite a controversial pour because people can't seem to decide if it's a bourbon or a Tennessee whiskey. But I can tell you just by looking at the label, it's Tennessee honey. This is Jack Daniel's original recipe, Tennessee honey. It's 70 proof, and it says it's finely crafted honey liqueur blended with Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey. I didn't know I was drinking honey liqueur tonight. That's why it's always important to read the label. Let's open it up. Bother. Says enjoy chilled. Now that I've got it out of the freezer, let's get to tasting. Very sweet, generic honey. Almost tastes like a Yankee Candle store. Tennessee honey has the distinctive character of Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey and liqueur with subtle notes of honey for a smooth, rewarding taste. I don't see anything on here about what kind of honey was used, what the varietal was, what kind of conditions the bees were kept in. I have more questions than I have answers. A lot of times with these macro honey whiskeys, as opposed to the craft distilleries I'm used to dealing with, you don't get a lot of the information that tells you what you're dealing with. At 70 proof, you get a lot of the honey flavor, but not a ton of the nuance that you'd get with a cask strength variety. I can tell you it tastes like honey, but I can't tell you what kind. I don't know if it's clover or if it's raw or not, just tastes like honey. I really like the bee logo that they have. It reminds me of my friends. Honestly, nothing wrong with this product. Tastes like honey with a little whiskey in it. Kind of like people that use a lot of cream in their coffee. I would say it's a good starter honey whiskey for your friends who aren't as attuned to the fine flavors and nuances of raw honey and high-proof whiskey. Is it a daily drinker? Probably not, but a good thing to have at a party or in a decanter for less discerning palates. As a matter of fact, I think Eeyore would like it quite well. It isn't very pricey, and it's quite easy to find, so I'm not averse to picking one up if you see it on the shelf for a reasonable amount. Don't pay secondary pricing for this one. I do need more transparency about what kind of honey they put in. Maybe I'll check their website and see if there's any more information. But as far as I can tell, run-of-the-mill big box honey going into this one. It reminds me of that old saying, all bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey has honey. That's gonna do it for this episode of Whiskey the Pooh's Bourbon Reviews. I hope you enjoyed this. If you would subscribe to the YouTube channel and give it a thumbs up, that would be wonderful and help the boys at the podcast quite a bit. You can support this channel and Will in the Grease by going to patreon.com/thepodcast and join their Patreon to support those fine folks. That's it for this week on Whiskey the Pooh's Bourbon Reviews. I am Whiskey the Pooh, signing off.